Hey guys, welcome back. Today it's going to be a little bit of a different video. All right. I want to talk to you about my own personal journey. Yeah, let's have some fun, talk about my childhood traumas. But I want to talk to you about what has led me to who I am today. All right. Spoiler alert, it's Jesus. It's Jesus. So I actually grew up in a Christian household in a Baptist church, and I got saved at a very young age. And then my life was perfect. That was it. The end. All right. Easy. See you guys later. Jesus help me with this one. All right. This is a little hard for me. My family has a lot of dysfunction and mental illness. All right. Runs deep. All right. Just a matter of fact. And growing up, I was introduced to a lot of heavy theology, especially from my father. Again, I love my family, love my dad. You know, these are just the facts. All right. It's just the truth. So you see, even though Sunday school would teach about God and Satan, heaven and hell, my dad tended to focus more on the doom and gloom aspect of everything. We used to watch these videos called To Hell and Back, which is exactly as it sounds. They went to hell, came back to their bodies, and then talked about their experience. Now, keep in mind, I was about 7 or 8 years old. Yeah, he was also obsessed with the end times, the rapture, 7-year tribulation, second coming. So hearing all these things as a kid scared the living hell out of me, okay? Literally. So as a kid, I always thought the end of the world was coming. You know, my dad would say every year, oh, Jesus is coming back. Oh, look out, Rosh Hashanah. Jesus might be coming back on that day. And it used to bring me so much fear. Okay. And he would show me movies such as, but not limited to, Left Behind, Years of the Beast, Omega Code, Revelation, and Hal Lindsey's late great Planet Earth. Oh, by the way, you should probably know, as a kid, I had a very vivid imagination. So if you combine that with knowing that the spiritual realm exists, there's demons, there's hell, and that, yeah, the end of the world is coming, you know, how would you do as a child? You know, just put that into perspective. Because I think I took it like a champ, all right? So yeah, tons of fear, anxiety, growing up and throughout most of my life, actually. I used to have this reoccurring dream about a demon coming after me, and literally that dream didn't stop until I was about 21. And even then, I still had fears about when it came to the rapture and the end times. Literally, Jesus woke me up to what was going on in the world last year, January 2023. All right, at that point, I couldn't ignore it. You know, COVID hit, and I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. Then God was like, yeah, come on, look around you. Everything that you've been taught growing up, it's kind of happening. It's starting to happen. So because of that, I actually started doing more research into the end times. What does it say in the Bible? What are the prophecies? And I was following some eccentric TikTokers that wasn't always biblical, but that's okay. I didn't know at the time, but literally that would bring me so much fear, so much anxiety. I literally would have anxiety attacks at night. So there was this part of me, it's really intriguing. There's a part of me that was really invested and interested in what they had to say and what these signs were. But then another part of me that was in complete shambles and crippled with fear, because I couldn't get past those childhood traumas and anxieties that I had stuffed way deep down. So this actually forced me to face that fear. All right, that's the first thing. And then I kept having these rapture dreams, like intense rapture dreams. And I'd wake up in like a cold sweat, and I'm like, man, like why is God allowing this? Like, why is this happening to me? And I knew logically from all my past experiences, God is a God of love. God is a God of peace. So then why is he allowing me to have such attacks like this? Like, this was really intense. So I was like, this has to be from the enemy, right? But then God's still allowing it, which sounds awful, but it's true. I'm like, why is God allowing this? Because literally he kept showing me his love and the peace that comes with him. The rapture is not something scary. If we're saved, it's not scary at all. All right. It's actually our blessed hope. And it took this experience to have me realize that and to be comforted by this rather than getting attacked. And that's why God allowed it, so that I could first off face my fears and work through that. And I kid you not, guys, that only lasted a few months last year, and I was completely healed after he showed me that revelation. Completely. I have not had an ounce of fear surrounding end times, God's second coming, rapture, 7 tribulation. Haven't had a single ounce of fear. Now that's God. God also showed me that in those times I needed to go to his word, read the Bible, and literally it would bring me so much peace, I'd fall asleep right away. All right? Guys, if you're like me, if you have fear around the rapture, if you have fear around end times discussions, don't be afraid if you're saved. And that sounds terrible, but it's true. Like, if you don't believe in God, like, you're gonna have to go through some things, which, man, yeah. But no, if you believe in Jesus, don't worry. Don't have any fear about this. Please pray about it. Let God lead you to peace and the hope that it brings. Just to throw it out there, this is also the reason why I believe in the pre-tribulation rapture. Because mid-trib doesn't bring too much hope, doesn't bring much peace. So yeah, I'm definitely on the pre-tribulation side of it. Now, if you're also like me, you grew up in a church, all right? And you know how wonderful church can be. Real heaven on earth, no judgmental people, no hypocritical people, no self-righteous people. You know, it's a true utopia in a building. You see what I'm getting at here? Do you see what I'm putting down? Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? All right. Sometimes it's not good. Man, why am I so angry today? I told you guys this is hard. All right. You should have known from the beginning when I was asking Jesus for help. All right, man. So yes, the church I grew up in, it was not a healthy church. They did not handle things properly and Christ-like. They were very judgmental. They were very hypocritical. And when churches are like that, and they just kind of sweep things under the rug, they don't actually take action to grow or go in the way that God is calling them, it can really hurt the congregation. It can really hurt new coming people and truly push them away from God. It's really awful. It truly, truly is. And I'm not saying everything about the church where I grew up in was awful, so terrible. I'm just saying these are the aspects that really hurt me. And I know that it would hurt other people as well. So yeah, being around those people, I didn't want to go to church every Sunday, put on a fake smile. And as a kid, it's a little bit worse because, you know, you're taught, hey, respect your elders, listen to them, obey them, what they're telling you and teaching you, which, yes, of course, that's the right thing. But when those leaders are not acting Christ-like, when they're not doing the right things themselves, then I lose respect for them. But as a child, I have no control of it. I just have to put up with it and deal. I also had a lot of burning questions growing up. I questioned the Bible a lot. I just wanted to understand, you know, it wasn't, you know, coming from an evil place or a place against God. No, I have a lot of questions, a lot of curiosities, which I think is very normal. I think a lot of people have questions, but then they would either judge me for the questions I was asking, put me down, or they'd give me some terrible response like, oh, you know, because he's God. Which to me, it's the same as when a parent tells you, oh, because I told you so. Not a great answer, not a good reason. Listen, God didn't make us as robots, all right? We are free-thinking humans, obviously, right? So if he made us this way, don't you think he wants us to question? He wants us to look for answers, get deeper into the Bible? Absolutely. Okay, so let's jump to when I was in high school. In high school, I actually pursued Jesus more. I knew that he wanted a relationship with me, and I wanted to get closer to God. The thing of it is, I had a very arrogant mindset, and I wanted God to reveal himself to me, not to prove he was real or that he existed, because I was like, God, you know I 100% believe you're real. So I just want you to come down. I want you to reveal yourself to me. I was like, because why not? Like, I'm like, you say you want to be with me, then come here, come down here. I was very arrogant and I did not understand. I was very immature at the time, all right? I didn't understand the obvious reasons why he's not going to just come down and reveal himself. First off, I would probably explode from his presence alone, all right? And then also, we all know it says in the Bible where he returns to. So that would kind of make a liar out of Jesus. And yeah, he's not a liar. He don't lie. And this might sound silly, but to me, like that really upset me. I was like, why don't you just come? I'm like, you want to be with me? I'm like, come on. Because it's very hard for me to spend time with someone that's not physically there. I'm like, okay, I understand in my head, logically, I know you're there and I can feel your presence. I'm like, but I want you to physically be here. But right now, it's not time for that. I should also mention, while this was going on, I was kind of living a double life where I was like, oh yeah, let's go all the way for Jesus. You know, I even found like a different church to go to, and I was like digging into the word and everything else. Then literally I'd come home from church and then just do whatever I wanted, satisfy whatever selfish need, want that I had. And honestly, just by doing this project right now, I realized I was just using God to make me feel good. I didn't actually want to build a relationship, have self-discipline. I didn't want to do the work that it actually takes to have a good, healthy relationship with Jesus. All right, let's go to college now. In college, this is going to be rough. This was my darkest season. It really was. I completely fell away from God. All right. I was very angry at God. I kind of was going back and forth with my beliefs. Is it true? Is it real? Is it not? It's just, is this something that I was brought up with? So I'm kind of brainwashed to believe it. And again, had all these questions. I also felt like, man, all these terrible things happen in the world. Why does God allow that? He must be an evil God. And I got to a point where I was like, all right, I believe he's real. I believe he exists, but he must be evil because of everything that he allows. All right, let me go on a little tangent real quick. God has set certain boundaries in place. God is a very, like I say, loving and respectful God. All right, he won't cross those boundaries. He has given us free will, so we can choose either to do evil or good things. All right, and God does not intervene because of the free will he's given us. But as I always say, we are all going to have to take accountability for our actions. Okay, so back to it. I also believed in college that everyone was so selfish to an extreme that they didn't care how their actions affected anyone. And so because I believe this of everyone in the world, then I was like, all right, I gotta look out for myself. Number one. I became very prideful, very arrogant, all right? I also felt like I had this freedom now, like, oh, I can do whatever I want. I say whatever I want. I can manipulate people if I need to, because no one else is gonna look out for me. I did everything I set my mind on. I'm talking everything. I became scary dark. All right. If you go watch my older videos, you can see they're very graphic, very violent, full of pain, a lot of rage and anger, because I had all of that deep inside of me. And in all honesty, I was hurting from deep, deep wounds. I was also a slave to my sin, just giving into every want that my flesh had. And as dark as I'm, making the sound, trying to paint this picture, not all of it was bad. All right. There's actually some amazing people I met during this time, and there's some amazing things that happened to me. All right. It wasn't all bad, but the issue was my mindset and my heart and where I stood with that. Now, I was that person for a while, like a long while. The thing that really changed me was meeting my wife. Like, she showed me what true love, true acceptance was. And this might sound cheesy, but she really did melt my heart. She did. And she brought me back to Jesus. And even when we were together at the beginning, I was back and forth for a long time on wanting to go back to church. I kid you not. I used to say, going to church doesn't make you a Christian. And it's true. That is very true. But it's funny even looking back at how I used to think. Guys, I kid you not, if it wasn't for Jesus using her to bring me back, I'd still be in the same place. I'd still be very lost. So that's it. That's my life in a nutshell. Very, very condensed version. To be honest, guys, I didn't even want to share my testimony. Okay, I really didn't. That's why I said, you know, I was asking why I was so angry earlier. That's why I didn't want to do this. Okay, I thought my testimony just wasn't strong. Like I've heard other people's, and I was like, man, like that's really deep. That's really intense. I'm like, oh, I was always a Christian. I'm like, that sounds terrible. But no, it's not as simple as that. And guys, everyone's story is unique to themselves. And you never know who's gonna need to hear your story, your testimony. So I pray to God, you know, ask him, you know, be like, God, you want me to share my story, my testimony? I think it's incredibly powerful when you do that. Guys, I want to encourage you not to be discouraged, all right? Let God lead you and renew your mind as well. Until next time.